concluding thoughts of my guests here in studio. I've been speaking to James Mamboleo and Steve Ogola. Both of them are legal minds. Gentlemen, as we wait for 26th to happen, what possible scenarios are we expecting come 27th? Because there's also that issue to do with the constitutional threshold of a presidential election. I'll start with you, Ogola. You have a minute to go.
Well, I think post-26, if the election returns a president as required under Article 138, sub-Article 4, then he'll be in terms of getting the 50% plus one and the 25% in 24 counties, then the person who is able to meet that requirement will be declared president. And again, if someone is not happy with that outcome, it's open to you to file, a case in court challenging the election of the president-elect. I think beyond that, there is an opportunity also for a more inclusive dialogue, of uniting the country, although I must now wonder, I think, to be honest, NASA's strategy suffered a major blow by the inclusion of the 8 candidates, because now this election boycott may tend to be maybe more harmful than they may find it beneficial, because I think the purpose of election boycott and was to reorganize the space so that Raila has a decent chance to contest. But what is not in doubt, Betty, is that after this election, the person who emerges the winner, unless that win is overturned by a court of law, I don't see any political negotiation or debate that will displace the winner from the presidency. The only negotiation that can displace the winner from the presidency is a court action. So any political dialogue will be to unite the country, create reforms for the future, but insofar as predictability, certainty, I don't think there's lack of certainty in the law in terms of where we're going. But that also to caution Kenyans to just be aware. I have really observed with a lot of shock and consternation the falsification of the law by both sides. Jubilee has been manipulating the electoral process through the creation of those laws, and I hope Uhuru never signed them. And even if they signed them, I hope they're not going to be applicable. NASA, on the other hand, also equally manipulated the Constitution for partisan advantage. What we are seeing, the demos, they are referenced, yes, under Article 37. You can demonstrate, but you must also be able to know that as you do so, don't do it in a climate of fear where people can no longer, you're paralyzing life. I think if you do that, then you're manipulating the Constitution beyond what was expected that as the parameters for the enjoyment of that right. But going forward, yes, we will have to wait for the election. If someone is not happy, a petition will be filed. If not filed, then the president will be sworn in 14 days from the date of that election, the first Tuesday after 14 days.
All right. Mamboleo, your final thoughts?
Betty, the time that Kenyans are expected to show utmost restraint and fidelity to their constitution and the law is now. In moments of crisis such as this, everybody is called upon to exercise their rights with utmost respect to the rights of others. And we must always remember that every Kenyan is actually entitled to stay here and be happy while at it, or at least be allowed to pursue happiness. This is what I will say as my closing comments, that we have 3 major sections in this population that are now seriously debating. There is that Mamamboga out there, there is that gas station worker, there is that quarry worker who really is not interested in so much a question of what is the political debate. He's interested in a peaceful environment in which he will continue eking a living for his family and to make sure that he gets some form of sustenance. So to those Kenyans who are out there who have a responsibility as citizens of this country to observe the law, I request of you, irrespective of which political divide you lean on to, make sure that you exercise good judgment at a time like now. It's extremely important that you remain alive beyond 26. Make sure that you listen to only those parts of the speeches that politicians make that make sense for you and which, of course, call you to action, which is in accordance with the law and the Constitution. Now, in relation to government, continue discharging your mandate as the ultimate authority which guarantees every person's right in this country. And to the opposition, make sure that whatever activities you undertake them within the spirit and letter of the law and the Constitution. That's important.
All right. Thank you very, very much, gentlemen. Steve Ogola and James Mamboleo, both are lawyers, talking to us about the issues that have come up with this particular repeat presidential election. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
All right. So for now, I want us